Hey everybody, Shay here to give you another introduction to one of these sketch vlog videos that I did over 4 years ago. I was thinking it was like maybe 4 to 5 years ago, but it predated that easily because I've been doing the XEI gaming channel for 4 years, and this was probably almost a year prior to that. In any case, this one amused me a little bit because it reminded me that I had done the sketch blog to music. I had different music just on top of it. I wasn't speaking over these things, and then months later, when I put them onto YouTube again, because they were on YouTube, I removed them from YouTube, I put them back on YouTube, I removed them from YouTube, and now they're going back on YouTube. But anyways, so the second time on, I was like, I want to remove that old music because there was like claim issues going on, even though the music was by attribution Creative Commons, but some agency took over the music and it was a mess. Point is, I contacted the artist. I'm going to derail. The point is, I was like, I'm just going to talk over these things and use safe music. And so the second phase of this was me kind of creating these automatic just thoughts as I rewatched the video from months prior. And now here I am giving an intro to a video that I gave. It was a point, you get the point. There's a bit of a layered kind of association pattern going on there. And that was the actual point I wanted to talk about at the opening of this sketchbook, which is the idea of associations and how vital they are to brainstorming sessions when you're trying to work through anything. And it's not exactly what I'm talking about in this video. In hindsight, a lot of these things are still meaningful to me today. These have been sort of values and patterns that I've used in life for the last 20 years or so, and not much has changed. And so that's why I want to bring them back to the channel, because they apply to just being creative and doing things and just starting with a blank page and not being intimidated by it. So without further ado, I want to send you to the sketchbook. Enjoy. Heyo everybody, XEI here for another episode of Once Upon a Time Lapse. Here we have episode 2 called Dare to Dream, and I guess when I started this drawing off, I imagined I was going to create some sort of deer or dog, and then for some reason I decided to go in a direction of drawing this alien head because I wasn't okay with just doing something normal, I guess. So at this point, I'm trying to remember what my triggers were. I mean, the idea of drawing antlers to begin is you know, as you can see, like, it's one fluid line, and that's always been a challenge for me, drawing tree branches and antlers. Like, I feel like one wrong move drawing a tree branch or an antler and it just starts looking wonky. So I went for it. I put antlers on this alien guy, and I was trying to work my way through a brainstorm here to fill in the space. And then I believe I started thinking about satyrs and centaurs, fantasy creatures that like to drink quite a bit. So it's worth pointing out at this point that I'm kind of freestyling my way through this video as I watch it, which I find interesting because it's been months since I drew this image, and so I get to take a step back and try to create a narrative over something that didn't have a narrative. And I think that's the best part of imaginations, that you have no idea of the sequence that you're about to create until you create it, and the idea of like the shared world, and that shared world is informed by all the experiences you've had in the past, whether it's role playing or comics or whatever. And I think that's pretty fascinating. I love the idea of imagination. So let's get back to it. I'm not entirely sure what that meant. I was raised to be charming, but I have to believe it had something to do with beauty being in the eye of the beholder or something like that. At that point I started drawing this weird fairy creature, because if this was an alien deer, I wanted to make sure I had an equally alien fairy creature whom possibly this deer has conversations with, and they've shared some wonderful moments together. But of course, she's come to him to break his heart or to have a conversation about the fact that he broke hers. I've always enjoyed that fine line where fantasy mashes up with horror, or a dream can instantly become a nightmare. The line here is that imagination can be a dark place. But that said, nightmares are subjective, and I can go on about my opinions on that matter, but I'll save that for another day. If you feel so inclined, comment down below about dreams versus nightmares. Sort of all mixes in my head. Remember, get out there and explore, engage, and inspire.